One Zambia, one nation. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Zanis News with me, Amos Zulu. Let us take a look at the headlines. Labor unions welcome partial withdrawal of NAPSA benefits. Newly recruited teachers shun rural schools. Traders bemoan poor sanitary conditions at Chinsali Market. Plus, youths encouraged to take sport seriously. Here are the details. The recent Cabinet's approval of the introduction of a bill to Parliament to append National Pension Scheme Authority NAPSA Act No. 40 of 1996 to allow members an option to access part of their retirement contribution has cheered labor unions. Both Zambia Union of Government and Allied Workers and Civil Servants and Allied Workers Union of Zambia have welcomed the initiative that is expected to allow NAPSA members to invest before retirement. Sande Bwalia has the details.
Cabinet recently approved the introduction of a bill to Parliament to allow the National Pension Scheme Authority, NAPSA, offer members of the scheme an option to access part of their retirement contributions. The announcement has cheered labor unions who feel the initiative by Cabinet will allow workers to invest more before retirement. Zambia Union of Government and Allied Workers, UG President Muyaiwa Kabisa, shared his views.
The workers of this country have accepted the idea of allowing for partial withdrawals of their pensions. The issues that employees have raised are issues such as them finding it very difficult to invest when out of employment. These are lessons that are learned from those who have gone before us, that when people retire, it becomes quite a challenge to invest.
Mr. Kabisa also says the union is currently sensitizing its members on NAPSA and retirement matters.
The Zambia Union of Government and Allied Workers is one of the very few unions in this country that has taken a step to engage employees on pension matters. Currently, there is a program that is running, being managed by the union and NAPSA, where they are sensitizing union members in issues to do with the NAPSA scheme.
And Civil Servants and Allied Workers Union of Zambia, SAU's General Secretary Makai expressed similar sentiments.
With this proposal, that would mean now is that workers will be able to withdraw part of their pension money and start investing for their future. While they're still young, they're still energetic, and they're still able to run up and down to manage those investments, so that they do not leave the whole pension contributions for NAPSA to invest for them, because after all, we are also concerned with the investments that NAPSA has been doing of late in the past. Because that money that NAPSA invests is people's money.
The approval by Cabinet for the Zambian workers to access part of their retirement package from NAPSA before they retire is a positive move. For Zanis, I am Sande Bwalia.
Algerian ambassador to Zambia, Ahmed Sadi, has commended the Zambian government for the policies that are being implemented in different sectors. Mr. Sadi cited the free education policy as a strategy that is positioning the country on the right track. He says Algeria has also been implementing the free education policy and that the people of that country have benefited from it. Mr. Sadi acknowledged that Zambia and Algeria share the same values in relation to democracy, rule of law, peace, and security. The ambassador said this during the reception to commemorate the anniversary of the revolution of that country. And speaking at the same event, Minister of Tourism Rodney Sikumba says Algeria has continued to be an important bilateral and multilateral cooperating partner to Zambia.
Please, let's give a round of applause of to His Excellency, Mr. Haikandi Hichilema, for implementing this exceptional policy. I am saying this because I am direct beneficiary of the free education policy in Nigeria, instituted since its independence, which extended from pre-garden through the postgraduate study at university. This right of compulsory and free education until the age of 16 is consecrated in the constitution of my country and constitutes one of the most important achievements of our revolution that we celebrate today.
Algeria continues to be an important bilateral and multilateral cooperating partner to Zambia, and we are committed to nurture and further deepen our relations. In this regard, it is our ardent hope that the reopening of the resident embassy will serve towards further consolidating of our economic, social, and cultural cooperation for the mutual benefit of our two countries. Your Excellency, as I mentioned earlier, very attentive with the speech, the very fact that you are proposing that we have the Zambia-Algeria Business Forum is something that relates us, and we will definitely make sure that we actualize that particular business forum.
We now take you to Northwestern Province, where the Angolan Consulate General in Solwezi district has praised the Zambian government for the hospitality accorded to Angolan citizens that come into the country for various reasons. Angolan Consul General Agostino Raimundo dos Santos said this when he called on Ikelenge district administration to request support as his mission embarks on the registration process of Angolan citizens living in Northwestern Province. Victor Mwila has the details.
The Angolan consulate based in Solwezi is visiting Ikelenge district in Northwestern Province. Ikelenge shares a long border with Angola in the southwestern part of the district. Their mission here is to deliver a message of gratitude to the local administration for sheltering over 60 Angolan residents that fled into Zambia following chiefdom wrangles and fighting that erupted in Kazovu area in Angola early this year. The Angolan mission wants all its residents that might have crossed into Zambia through Jimbi border post registered.
Precisamos só local onde os nossos funcionários podem trabalhar e então vão fazer o registro.
Which kind of support you are receiving from Zambian government, particularly in this province, when you are moving for different kind of for this trade to do our work? You are giving us one place where my team can go and settle and start working on the Angola citizens in the registration process.
The local administration in Ikelenge has pledged continued collaboration with the Angolan consulate in Solwezi over any matters regarding the shared boundaries.
Angola and Zambia, we have got a number of synergies. To summarize it all, we are one people. As the office of the president at the district level, we shall pave room for you to do the visit in a amicable manner. In another way, we want to say thank you to your office. How we coordinated as the consul office and the district office on the well-being of our brothers that came from Angola who are sitting in Nyakasel.
The Angolan consulate has also inspected their side of the border with Zambia for future plans to upgrade the area. Victor Mwila for Zanis at Jimbi border in Ikelenge, Northwestern Province.
Now, our staffer Trevor Lubala reports from Central Province that Chivombo District Commissioner Lloyd Kayeka says a staff audit has been instituted to establish the number of teachers that have not yet reported for work since they were deployed. Mr. Kayeka says newly recruited teachers, especially in the rural parts of the district, have not reported at their stations.
A high teacher-to-pupil ratio remains a big challenge in many schools located in the rural parts of Chivombo district. The recent deployment of about 650 teachers in the area therefore came as a sigh of relief to many stakeholders. But this is not the case with some schools.
From the 42 teachers that I was allocated to, about 19 teachers have not yet reported to. So we are appealing to the relevant authorities to come to our aid so that these teachers are brought back.
This reporter visited Kachenje Primary, one of the affected rural schools in the area. Here, only 1 out of 6 teachers has reported at the school.
We are given 6 teachers from the government. Then only 1 reported. The 5 ones were not seen up to now. When we followed, we were told to say they were taken somewhere else.
Bana batokwiya mbanji twachokikonsha ama teachers bakesao ba mistress kwambai bakwanishe kuisha maklasi ali 7 once no mtoto yelabe no mfurumende amutuboshere ma teachers ayo kwaka ya mukuyubaira uko.
Chiwombo District Commissioner Lloyd Kaeka says a probe into the whereabouts of the teachers has commenced.
As the government, we expect them to have gone wherever they have been sent. But right up now, we are doing very serious audit as Chiwombo District to make sure that if there are teachers who hasn't gone where they were assigned, we are not going to feel mercy to anybody. What we will do, we are going to take a very serious action.
If the wide teacher-pupil ratio is not addressed, quality education in rural areas will not be attained. Trevor Luella, Zanis News, Chiwombo District.
Still in education news, the Teaching Council of Zambia, TCZ, has advised teachers and education administrators to conduct themselves in a professional manner and refrain from engaging in any form of examination malpractices during this examination period. TCZ Registrar Ebi Mwanga says there is need for teachers to ensure that they uphold their professional conduct and adhere to the laid down guidelines of conducting exams. Dr. Mwanga noted that all teachers have been sensitized on the dangers of engaging in any examination malpractice, which in the long run compromises the standards of the education system in the country. He has since warned that those who will be found wanting risk their licenses revoked and teaching practicing certificates suspended. Meanwhile, Dr. Mwanga has advised teachers that have not yet renewed their practicing licenses to do so, as the deadline was 31st October 2022.
As Teaching Council of Zambia, we have, the powers to sanction such a teacher. We can revoke the registration certificate and the practicing license. And once that is done, this teacher will be jobless. Apart from that, other law enforcement agencies will take it up, and then this teacher can be prosecuted, can be jailed, and that is bad for the teacher and for the family and the profession. So we want all teachers, wherever, to make sure that they conduct themselves professionally. And then in the same vein, as Teaching Council of Zambia, we also expect our teachers to comply in terms of registration and practicing license, because teachers know to say we have a law, the Teaching Profession Act number 5 of 2013, which expects every teacher to be both registered and licensed. And our head teachers or school managers must ensure that their teachers are both registered and licensed. We have spoken about compliance as council for some time now. In fact, even the deadline for the renewal of practicing licenses is long gone. And what we are doing now is giving the last reminders for those that did not comply by 31st October 2022. We can sanction them.
Meanwhile, Irene Nganga reports that the Ministry of Education in Kafue District has distributed 150 rehabilitated desks to 11 schools in Kafue District. The district is further expected to rehabilitate more broken desks following the release of 75,000 kwacha by government.
A number of schools in Kafue District, especially in rural areas, are facing a critical shortage of desks, resulting in many pupils sitting on the floor during lessons. To address this challenge, government through the Ministry of Education this year released 79,000 kwacha to the District Education Board Secretary's office to rehabilitate broken desks. The District Education Board Secretary's office is today distributing desks to 11 schools in the district.
Yes, Speaker, sir. We are blessed as Minister of Education to receive a sum of 79,000 kwacha for the purpose of rehabilitating desks. Schools brought different frames from their various institutions, and actually when we checked on the number of frames available, we have more than 1,000 frames available.
During the rehabilitation of the desks, pupils at Naboye Secondary School took advantage of the opportunity by taking part in the reconstruction of the desks.
Right now, I'm managing the people wood to avoid any insects so I'm trying to protect this system of wood so it can last longer than it's supposed to. Without banishing the wood to be eaten up. Since some of us can't use like grease, they can easily go on it, and the piece of wood will start smoking.
Kafue District Commissioner Maurice Hikapulwe, who was represented by Chiefs and Traditional Affairs Officer Samuel Daka during the distribution, urged the learners to take care of the desks.
We need to appreciate also the job that Minister of Education is doing to supplement government's efforts. How do they do this? They have come up with a very good initiative of trying to renovate these desks, in short to rehabilitate, which is a very good innovative idea, trying to cushion the gap which is there created by the policy which has been brought to ensure that every learner receives a cake in terms of getting quality education.
Irene Nganga, Zanis, Kafue.
Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Paul Tole has expressed concern with the increasing cases of early marriages and pregnancies in the region. Mr. Tole says young girls have continued being victims of sexual abuse despite many interventions by government and cooperating partners.
Early marriages and teenage pregnancies continue to affect the strides made to promote sexual reproductive health and rights in Eastern Province. Save the Children, in partnership with the International Organization for Migrants, organized a stakeholders consultative meeting on the provision of sexual reproductive health and rights services in Chipata, Katete, and Vubu districts. Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Paul Tole is concerned with the increasing numbers of teenage pregnancies and early marriages in the province when he officially opened the meeting held in Chipata recently.
Where have we failed as a nation or as a province? How many cases have been prosecuted or reported to the police? The statistics are so scary. Out of the 491, I can only recall one teacher. One teacher was being imprisoned. You can see that it is scary. You entrust your children, our children, to go to school. The very people who are supposed to look after our children are abusing them. Why don't you report such cases and the offenders are brought to book? We ought to set a tone.
Chief Teneskawas and Chief Pembamoyo, both of the Chewa-speaking people of Katete and Vubu districts, commended the partnership between government, Save the Children, and the other stakeholders targeted at protecting children from vices that hinder them from reaching their full potential.
We are happy that we are together. Your concerns, we need to work as a team so that we see how best we can reduce, as you have already alluded, that Eastern Province is one of the province which the numbers are going high in all our areas in terms of early pregnancies. As we are saying now, the only issue which we need to discuss this house is the issue of early pregnancies.
A local non-governmental organization called Chisomo made a presentation on the works it has been carrying out to protect the children.
And what the project has done, because it has oriented the service provider, it has also trained them, they are able to understand. When a young person goes there, they're able to to sit down with a young person and talk to the young person, why do you want this service, and cancel the child. If they say that this child, if they don't give the service that the child is requesting, then the child will go ahead and do what they want to do. But after canceling, some of the girls, some of the boys, they come up and say, I think I will not be able to do this because I have understood why I don't have to do this thing. I have thought twice.
Sylvester Shimba reporting for Zanis in Chipata District, Eastern Province.
We now take you to Central Province, where Kelvin Tembo reports that Habitat for Humanity Zambia has given out over 70,000 kwacha to 6 women clubs in Makululu township of Kabwe. The initiative is meant to reduce poverty in the community.
These women are from 6 women clubs of Makululu compound in Kabwe. They have each received different amounts of money to capitalize their business ventures from Habitat for Humanity Zambia, totaling 76,685 kwacha.
Gathered here this afternoon to witness the handing over of seed fund to 6 Habitat for Humanity Zambia supported savings groups here in Makululu community. The groups were selected based on the viability of the business ideas. It is expected that the seed fund will go a long way in boosting their startup businesses.
Representatives of both Kabwe Central and Wacha constituency parliamentarians shared the importance of empowering small-scale businesses.
The empowerment of women is crucial to the social development of families, communities, and Zambia at large. I'm pleased and humbled to learn that the majority members of the targeted groups to receive seed funds of a commendable grant total of 74,686 are women.
Macro, small and medium enterprises play a very important role in economic development, especially in developing countries such as Zambia. Their role in terms of production, employment generation, contribution to exports, and facilitating equitable and distribution of income is very critical to the growth of Zambia's economy.
And the women clubs are grateful for the support. Kelvin Tembo for Zanis in Kabwe District, Central Province.
And in Western Province, Mongo District Commissioner Morgan Akabeswa has challenged non-governmental organizations, NGOs, to be accountable in the utilization of donor funds. Take a look.
The number of non-governmental organizations, NGOs, has been mushrooming in Zambia. Some operate without a clear mandate, while a number of them operate just during elections and close down immediately after the polls. However, the status quo will soon change once the NGO Coordinating Council is given a full mandate to regulate the operations of NGOs in the country. Western Province has about 68 NGO affiliate members. Mongo District Commissioner Morgan Akabeswa wants these NGOs to be accountable in the way they utilize donor funds.
Whereas government appreciates your different roles in the development of the nation, we also call upon you to uphold transparency and accountability. We want you to be open and honest about your activities in the communities that you undertake, your funding, your internal operations. Government want to see that there is transparency, that there is accountability. And when you get this donor funding outside the country, you are able to utilize these funds to the best of your abilities, that they help the lowest person in terms of status in society.
And NGO Forum Chairperson for Western Province, Kelvin Wilson, calls for the speedy repeal and replacement of the 2020 NGO Act, as well as the enactment of Access to Information Law.
What information are we talking about? We are talking information that governs
this republic. The informations that borders on the socio-economic affairs of the citizens. The informations that is constitutional for people to know and make right informed decisions.
And a women representative, Juliet Chingi, has asked women to support each other.
Women are scared, women are not capacitated, but I believe we still have women who can voice out and represent the people, represent their communities. What we need from the government is we need to identify women now who can stand up as candidates and as MPs, as councillors, and we want government to support them.
Lovelin's Chichi reporting for Zanis in Mongu, Western Province.
One of the stories making headlines, traders and residents of Chinsali district have bemoaned poor sanitary conditions prevailing in the trading areas, resulting from uncollected piles of garbage over 2 weeks. And Chinsali Municipal Council Assistant Public Relations Manager Lolavie Simukoko says the delay in garbage collection was due to a breakdown of the skip loader garbage truck. Here is Sandra Mwansa with the rest of the story.
Continuous accumulation and non-collection of refuse at the Central Business District in Chinsali District in Mochinga Province by the local authorities has raised some health concerns. The business community says the piling of garbage for over 2 weeks now is posing a serious health hazard to their lives and have expressed worry.
So
the restaurant owners have also called on Chinsali Municipal Council to help in the management of garbage as this has affected their business.
Kuno kudyama restaurant balepika mwefi akudia tuladya fwe bantu. Ero nombe nshitatu ya kwa rain season.
And Chinsali Municipal Council Public Relations Manager Lolavie Simukoko has attributed the non-collection of garbage to breaking skipper tracks.
Our very own skip truck has been serviced, which is good news on our end. So what we're just waiting for is it to be back on the road. Currently, our immediate intervention has engaged in ZNS to help with the waste collection services.
Sandra Mwansa reporting for Zanis in Chinsali, Mochinga Province.
In health news, the Bada Islamic Foundation has donated assorted items to St. Dominic's Mission Hospital worth over 10,000 kwacha. Receiving the donation, St. Dominic's Mission Hospital Sister in Charge, Elizabeth Njovu, thanked the foundation for joining hands in uplifting the welfare of the people. We have the details in this report.
Established in 1993 is Ndola St. Dominic's Mission Hospital, whose catchment area is over 10,000. The hospital is run by Dominican Sisters of Sacred Heart Jesus. Like any other hospital in the country, St. Dominic's is not spared from operational challenges. To help ease some of the challenges, Bada Islamic Foundation has donated to the health institution.
And its leadership has and will always focus on the youth empowerment through the Vision platform. It is in this vein that this foundation has come on board to extend an upper hand in fighting against poverty, early marriage, child abuse, and most others, to mention but few.
Ndola District Commissioner Joseph Piri was present to witness the donation at the hospital.
This donation is meant to support government's effort in meeting the hospital requirements in the material services, which is one of the key areas of the health service delivery. The donation by Bada Islamic Foundation is timely because it has come at the time that the government is making efforts to ensure that it works closely with partners for improved service delivery for the communities.
St. Dominic's Sister in Charge has appreciated the gesture by the Islamic Foundation and the pledge to support the fight against child marriages and teenage pregnancies in the community.
Your aim to fight poverty and to prevent early marriages. That is your aim. Poverty is what we are surrounded with in this area. Early marriages, you can't tell it. So let's partner and see how best we can come and see. Maybe look at how best we can engage our youths, especially girls, that they don't go into marriages as early as 16. You go to MCH there, you find in the register, even as young as 12, they come because they are pregnant. So hearing that.
Nelly Bota reporting for Zanis in Ndola.
And in sports, Central Province Minister Credo Nanjua has encouraged youths to take sport as a source of livelihood and avoid engaging in illicit activities. Nanjua was speaking when he donated assorted sport kits to Mumbwa Football Club and Mumbwa Skills football team. More in the following report.
Mumbwa Football Club and Mumbwa Skills team players at the Parliamentary Office receiving a donation from the Provincial Minister, Credo Nanjua. Mr. Nanjua has urged players to be disciplined and responsible for them to achieve more.
Things are getting easier under the leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema. Resources are sent to us. It's us now to show responsibility and utilize these resources that are brought to us. So let us be responsible youths, responsible young people, promising a good future.
Mumbwa District Sports Organizing Committee President and the chairperson witnessed the handover.
We'll also make an appeal that resources permitting, we could also look at other challenges that we are facing as a team that will enable us move from the division we are in, which is Division 1, to go into Premier.
We have players, potential, but the problem is these children are not exposed, and we shall continue crying on the transport issues. Transport, sir, is a burden to this district. We shall not relent in coming to your office every time. We shall need transport for these players to be going somewhere.
The donation has elated the players.
For the jerseys, I think it will go a long way for us. We've been wondering the balls we use today, but by God's grace, we will find at least 2.
Kruger Siankuru, Zanis, Mumbwa.
Thank you, Kruger, and that report brings us to the end of the news. But before we go, the headlines again. Labor unions welcome partial withdrawal of NAPSA benefits. Newly recruited teachers shun rural schools. Traders bemoan poor sanitary conditions at Chinsali Market. Plus, youths encouraged to take sports seriously. These and many other stories can be accessed on our website zanis.com.zm. My name is Amos Zulu. Bye for now.